Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. It's September 13th, Saturday morning. If you're watching this live, give us a call this morning. Give us a Twitter or send us an email, whatever you like. Catch us on Facebook as well. And we're all done with the show now. That was the shortest show I've ever done in my life. Anyways, these things happen. Well, it's official. I do believe it's, even though it doesn't show it on the calendar, it's definitely fall outside. I'm seeing leaves falling down, and people are starting to get their grape equipment ready. They're harvesting, from what I've been told, and if somebody wants to call in and let me know for sure, but some of the early grape varieties, the wine grapes, but the Concords are going to be being picked here pretty soon. I checked mine out. They're always behind. I'm up on the escarpment, so they're usually about 2 weeks behind, and I looked at the grapes down on the flats, as we call it, in Lake Plain, and they're looking pretty good. I don't know what the sugar content is. If you don't know anything about grapes, and I'm no expert whatsoever, it's just because I know a couple little facts. A lot of times if you read in the paper, they're going to say the bricks are like 10 bricks. That means the sugar content, and it's got to get up to a certain level before they can pick it. And so if you ever see that term, B-R-I-X, bricks, that's a number that they look for and try to get it so they can get the good sugar content for making all those good juices and jellies and things that they do with our grapes. So anyway, just as a footnote to that is once they start picking grapes, do watch out for the trucks that are coming and going and all the equipment and the workers out there, because Chautauqua County just comes alive with the grape harvest season. Okay. Well, we got a few announcements. It's kind of quiet. We were just talking, it's sort of like that lull between summer and the holidays now. But do call us if you have an announcement for a community event that you might be holding, or a special birthday, anniversary, or if something's on your mind, you want to share it with us. I do want to tell you that the last 2 weeks we've had a little reception or transmission. I'm not sure if it's reception or transmission. Something in the wires that we've been having a little problem, I think, going east of here. Hopefully they have it worked out today, and we'll be nice and clear on your TVs. But if you are having any trouble ever, you can always catch us on YouTube and just put in for the search Chautauqua Sunrise, and up comes every episode of the show up till now. And I believe this is the 11th show. Okay, but by way of announcements, we've got coming up the Town of Terror. I think we have a poster for that, pop up here in a second. The Town of Terror is looking for volunteers. It's over at the Children's Safety Education Village over in Asheville. Here we go. And not only are they looking for volunteers, but looking for organizations that might want to set up a scene at the village, and there's competitions and there's prize money available. But it's running every Friday and Saturday, excuse me, from October 10th through almost the end of the month. It's a great, great fun time. As you can see, pre-sale tickets are $8 and it's $10 at the door. They're also coming up with a tag team with the Spire Theater and the Mall. They're going to have some haunted events as well, and I believe you can buy all for one money you get 3 tickets. So that's something if you're really a zombie fanatic or you really enjoy getting the wits scared out of you, this is a great opportunity for kids and families alike. So Town of Terror, looking for volunteers, looking for folks that might want to set up a scene at the village. They take the whole village and they turn it into one great big Halloween event for you. If you have any questions, give Terry Kinberger a call over there at the village. Okay, coming up September 21st, which is what, a couple weeks from now, we will have something called the Folk Free-for-All over at the Opera House in Fredonia. If you haven't had that opportunity to go there, it's free of charge. They will ask you to make a donation during intermission to support the project, but it's volunteer. You're going to see at least 20 different musicians or acts, I suppose you would call it, duos, trios, and so forth, that will be playing a couple songs apiece. Don't hold me to this, but the Grammy Award-winning Kent Nappenberger and perhaps his family will be there. Me and Bill will be there. People from all over the county come in and donate their time. It's just a great, great, great fun time. And it starts at 3 o'clock on September 21st at the Fredonia Opera House. So we'll announce that a couple more times. Let's see what else we got going on. It's that time of year, folks. I went to the doctor yesterday, and he says, "You got your flu shot yet?" And I said, by the time I said, "oh," and "no," I was getting it stuck in my arm. I mean, it was like, wow, right there. In my earlier years, I really didn't think too much about it, but as time goes by, if you get your flu shot, then you don't get it, and you don't pass it on to somebody else. Well, that seems like common sense, but we forget that with our families, we sometimes have grandparents and great-grandparents that are a little bit elderly, and if they haven't gotten their flu shot, you contract flu, you give it to them, it could really, really be dangerous for them. So get your flu shots out there, folks, and in most of your insurances, from what I've been told, do cover that. And you can get it at your doctors, you can get it at a lot of the local pharmacies now, so it's readily available. Something to think about. I encourage you. All right. Last week, I think I was telling you, Bill and I were going to perform over at the Infinity Showcase, Musicians Showcase. Just in case you didn't see it or get a chance, put it on your calendar for next year, the first weekend of September, I think it is, right after Labor Day. 50 different bands, lots of music, good time in the city. I talk to people and they say, wow, this is the way it should be all the time, where you can just go any place and see great music. We played at a place called Brazil above the Labyrinth restaurant there, and it was just packed. We were having a ball. It was it was just one band after another, and we got done, and just as fast as we got done, another band was setting up right behind us, Ing and Davis, our buddies. So anyways, Infinity is a growing organization over in Jamestown. We had Shane Hawkins on here not too long ago, and they are also doing a big fundraiser to promote their new location at the old Jamestown Post Office. They're renovating, and I know that they've been painting and putting up drywall and everything else, and so it's going to be really cool, and it's good for kids. Let's see here. What else have we got going on? Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, okay. I just noticed that Vince Horgan was on his morning memo, and again, if you're interested in knowing what's going on in Chautauqua County at the government level, you can go and Google Chautauqua County, find government, go to the county executive's spot and sign up for emails in the morning, and there's a picture of Vince pouring sugar, looks like, into her garbage can. And I say this is because right this morning in the Post-Journal, there's a big piece all about Chautauqua County and its health indicators, and we got some ways to go on some of this. And sugar is one of those things that kind of creeps up on us, and we all love our sweets. But think about what sugar does to you. I've been reading more and more about it, and we had Kim Greiner on. I had to think about that for a second. Kim Greiner from Westfield Memorial Hospital here not too long ago was talking about that diabetes is really an epidemic proportions across the country and the world, really. And it has a lot to do with the white processed sugar. So if you can start cutting back on that, get your flu shot, you'll have a good season. Okay, I think, let me just double check here. I think that's all I have right now. So let's go to a PSA, public service announcement, and we'll be right back.
Introducing a new day of the week. Someday. Now, everything you were going to do someday is on the calendar. Want to retire someday? You'll really want this. A My Social Security account at socialsecurity.gov. You can estimate your future benefits and manage current benefits online. Millions of people have a My Social Security account. Get yours today, because someday is here at socialsecurity.gov.
Okay, our guest is on her way, and she'll be here just a little bit. And what I want to tell you is that with Chautauqua Sunrise, one of the purposes of the show is to be multi-generational. We're going to be doing things on senior issues. We're going to be bringing in speakers on veterans issues, for young folks, children, family issues, and so forth. And so as the months go by, if you have a suggestion for us, if you have an idea that you'd like to have me find a speaker on, give us a call or send us an email or Twitter us. Yep, there it all is for you. And we are not just focused just on one particular sector of our community, but we're trying to be broad-based. I have MaryAnn Spanos coming on here a little bit. She's expected any moment now. And what I wanted to do is to have MaryAnn come on like she did on the senior report to kind of let us know what's going on with senior issues, to let us know what is happening as far as insurance. That's a very complicated issue and so forth. And she's going to help us sort that out here in a little bit. But again, if you have any announcements, you want to call in, tell us what's on your mind, please let us know what's going on. So let me just see what's going on here. I see my team is over here looking at me. Hey, Chris, you want to come on here for a second and talk about what's going on in the world of technology? Chris Bird is our in-house guru, and we had a little chat today about technology. And technology is moving just about as fast as the weather is these days. It's constantly changing. So Chris, welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Chris is our behind-the-scenes guy. And Chris, what's happening in technology today? I mean, there's so many things. There's systems that are crashing. I saw that Fairpoint crashed. I saw that Time Warner crashed. We got all new things with iPads and iPhones and all kinds of stuff. So what's going on out there?
Well, first I want to say is now they want to cover your entire body in technology.
Your entire body?
I mean, they've got watches. I'm sure they'll be bringing out earrings and all sorts of stuff eventually. But they're trying to get as much money out of you, obviously, as possible. But when it comes to crashing and stuff, the biggest issue that we're reaching nowadays is the fact that when we were back creating the internet and all this other stuff, well, there was the easy way to do it, which didn't have as many numbers, and it was several billion numbers at the time, so they didn't think, oh, we'd never need that much. But now we're getting into the newer days where everyone's got a device and it's all connecting to the internet. So everybody's got an IP address, and they're running out of them, which is one of the major issues, which they had to, the idea is that there are so many bits that you can do, and a regular IP address is based on 32-bit IP.
Well, look at your title, IT Guru.
Does it say IT or LT? I don't know.
IT.
But there's 32 bits, or 32 ones and zeros, that end up determining your IP address, which is what your unique address on the internet is.
This is for a website or
for your device. When your device connects to the internet,
its own special number.
Yeah, when well, usually if you're on your home network, it has its modem, it has its own device.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
But if your cell phone connects to the internet, it has its own IP address. And then every internet web server out there has to have its own IP address so that everything has it's a unique.
It's getting big, it's getting huge out there.
So the problem is that when they created it, which was back in, you know, a lab, and they didn't really care at that point. They said it'd be easier to do the 32-bit because the limit is somewhere in the billions range.
Al Gore had no idea it was going to be this big, right?
Right. But it's in the billions of range, something 7-8 billion. But if everyone has a phone, then that clears that up right away, let alone all the web servers and everything on the internet.
Wow.
So they're working on trying to bring out new... It's called IP version 6 instead of version 4, which is what we use. It uses 64 bits instead, which drastically increases the amount of addresses that you can have.
Okay. There will be a test on this, folks, so I'm learning all kinds of things today. Okay.
So what you have is you have another 32 orders of magnitude that you can add to that.
All right.
So, and the other problem is that a lot of equipment nowadays has a physical memory limit. It can only store so many addresses.
I know the problem.
but I'm talking about the routing equipment within the internet.
Okay. Technically.
This is something they can fix.
Okay.
I don't think they've got to fix that issue
No, give me some pill or something, I don't know.
But the physical memory issue, so it can only store so much.
Right.
So the problem is nowadays they're also running into the issue that they don't have enough space to store the new addresses that are being added.
Oh my gosh, so we have a problem with...
so then all of a sudden it starts freaking out.
Okay.
And you start losing huge sections of the internet or huge IP addresses blocks because it needs to make room for the new ones that are being added.
Is that what crashed?
Well, that's part of it.
So when they say that a system crashes, let's go with Time Warner. What would cause that to crash? Why would people be out of service?
Well, the simplest thing is someone hit a tree or a pole or something that knocked down the wires.
Get out.
That's the same thing.
No, I'm talking across the whole nation. Remember it went down?
Something can be as simple as a bad firmware update, which is the software that the switcher runs.
So it goes to all of our computers throughout the world.
Yeah, and they're using the same pieces of equipment across the country. So if you update one piece of equipment with bad software, then you're updating all of them at the same time.
Okay.
So then everything across the nation has this bad software.
Okay.
So it starts messing. It's like a bug in your computer.
So like a virus.
Well, it's a bug more than that.
Or a flaw
in the system. Flaw.
Oh my gosh.
Someone added the wrong line of code somewhere in the billions of lines of
code.
Good
thing it's not me because I'm dyslexic and I reverse everything. Oh my gosh.
So that's when you see a system-wide outage like that, it's usually because someone updated something that they probably shouldn't have, or they didn't test it enough. Okay.
All right, so that explains the crashes, and there was, I know of at least 2 major crashes, 2 different companies. Fairpoint went down for a couple of days, and they've resolved that, and everything looks like it's pretty good. I guess Time Warner's back on, but this was like across like half the country with Time Warner, and I believe it was 17 states.
That's probably not the only issue. There could be other issues as well, but those are the most common issues.
There was some talk about something about somebody spammed them. What does that mean? The system was spammed.
Well, the biggest thing is when you get a virus, as you normally think, most of it doesn't hurt your computer. It just installs a little piece of software that a hacker can later call to your computer and have it call to a web server. And if you have enough computers, say 100 million around the globe, calling to a single web server and asking it for a piece of information, it's going to eventually freak out and give up.
Right, just overload, huh?
It's called a denial of service attack. You're sending enough computers to it that it can't handle the requests.
Okay, now I don't want to put you on the spot right now, but I've said this right along. I've said, you know, I know that right now in the world there is a lot of fighting and terrorism going on, and that we sort of sit back and we learn a lot of lessons from 9/11, obviously, but my biggest concern is not so much that someone's going to attack our shores, but they're going to attack our internet system, our satellites and so forth, because during that period of time when the systems crashed, there was no way to connect. There was no way to get to our bank accounts sometimes. We could, there was all this. How do they protect that, do you know?
Well, the biggest thing is there isn't an adequate protection system out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can have, encrypted data and all that, but eventually there is nothing that's going to stop them, especially if people are using bad passwords.
Mm.
If you use password or 123 or 12345 as your
Eventually they'll
password,
figure it,
or your birth date's another bad one, it's really easy because the first thing that the hacker is going to do is he's going to run a bunch of guesses against whatever the encrypted value is.
Right. They probably have software that can do that sort of
Right,
thing.
and it's going to it can run hundreds and hundreds of requests within seconds to see, the first million common passwords.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you don't want to use those things. You use something that has capital letters and lowercase letters and numbers and characters that aren't necessarily alphanumeric values, like the underscore or an exclamation point or something like that.
So make your passwords difficult.
The simplest thing is a hacker can't see if you write it down on a sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
He can't see in front of you what it is.
Okay.
The only thing is then if someone breaks into your house,
right.
then he can see it. But
Okay.
a hacker, if you leave it out there
Mm-hmm.
really easy, he can find it and he can do whatever he wants with it.
Right.
But if it's sitting right there in front of your computer and it's a really hard to crack password, then it's going to take him more time, and he might just give up and move on to the next one. It's going to be really easy to crack.
So we always talk about hackers. So how does, what does it, like, all right, let's pretend I'm a hacker. So what do I do? How do I get into your computer? Because I've downloaded some little thing that I can get in there somehow?
Well, there's different types. There's the malware like that, where you can download a piece of software that's listening to either your key presses or, what you're going to. They've got all sorts of different ways.
So they kind of comes in with an email sometimes, or
it
with
can
a
be an email, or it can be
website?
just off a Facebook ad. I've had stuff download off Facebook.
All right, so
ads.
that's why we try to make sure we have good protection on our
right, and installing an ad blocker. Usually Chrome, Internet Explorer, all those, they have some sort of ad blocker out there that you can install.
Okay.
The ad people don't like that, but
Right.
it saves that from downloading a lot of the issues that you end up seeing that causes that sort of issue.
So this is something that's hooked to something else and it gets into your computer. The hacker.
Usually those aren't too bad unless there's they want something very specific from you.
Mm-hmm.
Those, like I said, are downloaded and they're there sort of sleeping until they activate them to use it as a denial of service attack, for an example.
Wow.
To call on this one server 100 times to shut it down so that it doesn't.
All right, so the hacker can actually go into your computer and see what's in there, just like we can see our computer, or do they see what we see?
In some cases they can. It requires a lot more work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that requires more direct access, but if you download something that gives them more of an access, they could do that.
Okay, well...
Your average hack isn't that, though. Your
Okay.
average hack is going to be someone wasn't thinking when they were coding and they left some exploit out there.
Oh, okay.
So you send with, maybe you put a colon in there and all of a sudden it freaks out because it sees a colon in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or another thing they used to do, which isn't as often, is they'd start removing certain characters
Okay.
from that, and it would allow them access to their systems.
Okay. All right, let's change gears for a minute, because we're having a nice conversation here with Chris Birt. He's our in-house, I call him our IT guru. He knows more about technology than I can fit in the cap of this pen. And I'm pretty savvy, but you are like in another zone for me.
And there's people who know a lot more.
Well, we'll give you that. But, you see in the news, oh, it's coming, it's the next big thing, it's coming. We've got curved TVs now, we've got HD TVs with all these 3D things, and we were talking about wrist computers. What's this all about?
Well, obviously, they want to make you safer and secure, which is part of it. There's a big home initiative push to get stuff you can turn your lights on from your smartphone or shut them off. So that way, in case you leave your home, it'll look at your GPS and see you're not at home, and you say, John, you left your lights on at home, or you left the garage door open by accident. And it can send you a message, that way you're like, oh, that's right, I forgot about that.
This is like, we were talking earlier too, like the Jetsons. It's like, some robot's telling you, look, dummy, you left this.
Part of it is convenience and security. Now you don't have to reach over to your light, you just, you tuck your phone in your pocket and shut off your light.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's worth the money, but go ahead.
The other thing is they're trying to get money out of you. I mean, obviously, the more pixels on these displays, which is the 4K versus the HD, the more they can charge you for that. Then eventually that price will come down, and then they'll figure out something else to
the new
do.
and greatest thing. Okay. Well, as far as health goes, you always hear about people saying you shouldn't have your cell phone near your heart or they're going to be putting things on your wrists or on your ears or in your glasses. Any word on health issues and health risks with the technology these days?
Well, radiation is the biggest thing. I mean, anything Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever, it's all based on magnetic radiation. Radio waves are the same thing. They're all a very narrow spectrum of the overall spectrum, I guess. They're very narrow range of that, and that's where they can do damage, but they're not going to do nearly as much damage as, say, an X-ray would.
Okay. So
because there isn't nearly as much power, and to tell you the truth, there's actually less power in them than visible light.
Okay. All right. So pretty safe stuff. What do you see coming out next? All right, we talked a little bit about the wrist computers or cell phones. What's on the horizon these days?
That's a good question. Anyone out there that you ask probably has 100 different answers. It's whatever people want, but that may not necessarily be what companies are creating out there. I'd say that there's a big health push right now with the watches and stuff, because they can integrate so many sensors in there. They can detect your heart rate and stuff like that, and distance you walked. So if you're a big fitness nut, you can do that.
So it's a lot of applications that are out there that are still coming.
Yeah, and the thing is, once you have the physical hardware, then the software is what makes it the rich experience that you're expecting. Adding in the stuff to take your heart rate and all that and calculate the calories you burned is a whole different aspect than the sensor.
I just need an abacus for that for me.
Right, something like that. The thing
One
is,
calorie, 2 calories.
A computer itself can calculate, millions in a second, calculations per second. So it can determine that really quick versus you who's going to sit there and you have to divide by 0 and wonder what's going on.
Okay. Hey, folks, you've been listening to Chris Burt, our in-house IT guru. You're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. And we're going to go for, thanks, Chris, for coming by. We'll bring you back on another time. And we're going to go to a little PSA, and then we're going to bring on our other guest, MaryAnn Spanos.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of melanoma, the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hey, welcome back. You are Chautauqua Sunrise, and I have a very special guest, as always, MaryAnn Spanos from the Office of the Aging, and she's a professional guest here at the studio. She was on the Senior Report probably somewhere about 100 times, I would guess. But it's your first time with Chautauqua Sunrise. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Is it still sunny out there?
It's actually sunny in Mayville, but it's not sunny everywhere else. So I got up early this morning to be part of the Battle of the Businesses. So that was the.
So what event are you in?
This morning they're having a walk-run around Lakewood.
I did that one year.
Yeah, and I did Scrabble yesterday.
Okay, it just went down. Okay, we're going to put the camera on me. Randy, we need help over here on the.
No, I think I got it.
You got it? Okay.
The clip went.
Technology. Anyways, the Battle of the Businesses is really a lot of fun. I know you're still having problems there. We at BOCES one year, when I was at the Hughes Center, we had the Battle of the Businesses, and I did the walk run. But we had guys who were kicking footballs and playing billiards, and I think, is there a kickball? I don't know what they got. There's all kinds of different events. Dodgeball. That would be great. Okay. How's that? Are we almost there? All right.
I think so, but I've been told that the dodgeball is a very vicious game.
I can well imagine. I remember that when I was in school. Okay, hang on a second. We have a phone call. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Doc. It's Steve Gustafson from 10,000 Maniacs.
10,000 Maniacs. Steve Gustafson, good morning. The internationally famous band. How are you?
I'm delightful on this rainy morning. How are you, Doc?
I'm fine. We've been anticipating today. I didn't even talk about what's going on today because I was waiting for your call.
Well, it's amazing I even made it.
Did you get my reminder?
I did. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what's happening tonight?
Nothing.
Nothing special? You sent me a poster. We're going to pop that up right now while you talk a little bit.
I hope it's more than nothing. I'm planning on being there.
Well, tonight is a special night for us and for community radio station WRFA. It's their 10th anniversary, 107.9 FM.
Wow, 10 years.
And I know. And of course, the general manager of the station is our keyboard player, Dennis Drew.
Right.
And he wanted to throw a party for the 10th anniversary of the station, and he just happened to know an international band that he could get at a really good price.
Yeah.
And so we're playing tonight at the Resident Civic Center in the beautiful theater district of downtown Jamestown, New York. And the show starts at 8 o'clock, and there are still some pretty nice seats left to be had.
Wonderful.
And what we're doing for it is this extra special incentive for the event is they are selling $10 general admission tickets. So if you've been on the fence and you're not really sure what to do tonight, grab $10 and come down to the Reds. There's free parking. There's plenty of free parking in the ramp across the street. Downtown is well lit. It's going to be filled with lots of wonderful people tonight. It's going to seem like a real big city.
$10 to see an internationally famous band.
I know.
Steve, I have relatives in Europe, and I was Skyping a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I've been in contact with this guy, Steve Gustafson from the 10,000 Maniacs. Has you guys ever heard of him? I go, oh, yeah. So you're popular in the Netherlands. Unbelievable.
We toured throughout the Netherlands and Germany a few times and had a wonderful time. So, in fact, early in our career, that's kind of where we sort of migrated to Britain and Europe to make a record and do some touring, and it helped us out. It got us some press, and it made the press in America sort of stand up and take a little bit of notice. And so, it's maybe it'll happen again. I don't know.
You're never famous or an expert in your own backyard. You have to go away. I've had the same problem all my life. I had to come to Mayville to be famous.
It's true.
It is.
And hometown gigs seem to be very challenging because the phone's ringing off the hook. People asking, for tickets and relatives calling, and then people that you've never seen or that you haven't seen in a long time suddenly popping up saying, "Hey, how's it going? Where's the party?" And so it's a challenge that way. But it's also there's an added bit of excitement because people have seen us perform a few times in this town,
right? And
they used to see us for $1 when we played back at the Keg Room,
right? Those are the days, yeah. I know that feeling.
They expect a lot, and so it's quite a challenge. And we rehearse. We've been out most of the summer. We've been playing all over the country, and we're really. I think we're playing really well, and we just had 2 weeks off, and where we did play. So we had a rehearsal last night that lasted about 5 hours. to make sure we knew what
Get
we
it
were doing.
down.
And we did.
So, Steve, what are we going to hear tonight? New songs or old songs or a combination?
Yeah, a few. I think we're going to play a few songs off a record that we're working on right now called Twice Told Tales.
Okay.
It's a collection of traditional songs from the British Isles that
beautiful.
Our good old friend John Lombardo and former band member, he sort of curated this record for us. He picked the songs out, and he's sort of been there, artistic arranger. He's going to be with us, playing with us tonight.
Excellent.
So we'll do a few of those, and then we're going to try to, play something from just about every record we've made.
Terrific.
And then we'll do the hits, and we got a horn section that comes out at the end that will blow the roof off the place.
Excellent. All right. Well, we're going to be there tonight, so we hope to see you.
Well, that's fantastic. They'll be dancing in the aisles, so don't forget to bring your dancing shoes. We allow that and encourage it. We allow fun at our concerts.
Okay.
None of this sitting, staring at your hands, wondering what the hell she's saying.
There you go. All right, Steve. Well, thanks for calling in, and we'll see you tonight.
Thanks for having us, Doc. See you later. Thanks, everyone. Come on down. 8 o'clock, the concert starts, and if you can't make it, you can stream it.
Stream it.
Watch it live on the internet.
Okay.
Although it won't be HD and it won't be 3D like it is if you come see us. We're in 3 dimensions.
Okay, real good.
In fact, some of us in the band will be in 4 dimensions. You go to WRLP FM and you can figure out how to do that if you want.
Okay, excellent.
Beautiful. Thanks, Doc.
Talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
Sounds like a fun time.
You going to be there?
Oh, yes.
Randy's going to be there? Oh, boy. It's going to be a crazy time. Okay. I'm so glad you made it today. One of the issues that I really wanted to talk to you about today was about supplemental insurance, Medicare, and all that sort of thing. With the insurance environment that's going on today, it's confusing for a lot of folks. And what I wanted to do is for us to understand for people that are retiring, for people that are in retirement, and people that maybe aren't retiring but kind of like pre-retirement. What should they be thinking about with supplemental insurance and all that? And what is it and why do we need it?
Well,
big questions.
Yeah, these are big questions, but you came to the right place. The Office for the Aging, first of all, is the only unbiased counselors for Medicare for people 65 and over. I like to tell people, when you're turning 65, you're trying to decide, and all these people are trying to sell you things.
Oh, absolutely. Every day on TV.
But, Independent Health or Humana or Blue Cross, if you go to them, they're only going to tell you about their plans. They're not going to tell you, what's the difference between Humana's plan and Blue Cross's plan, or Humana's plan and Independent Health. The only place you can get that information is from our Medicare health insurance counselors, and they are certified. We have them in all of our offices, and we work very hard during open enrollment to make sure that everybody has the information they need to make the choice. We're not going to sell you anything. We have no skin in the game that way. All we do is, based on your individual needs, tell you the pros and cons of each plan and help you to make an informed decision.
Okay, why do we need supplemental insurance?
Well, let's go back to, I'm talking generally about all insurance. So first of all, under the Affordable Care Act, everyone needs to be insured or you're going to be penalized. Okay? So for people under 65, who can't get insurance or through their employer, they can go through the New York State Health Exchange. That really confuses seniors because they're like, do I have to call this exchange? No. You are in Medicare.
At 65.
At 65. And actually, you should start 3 months before your 65th birthday. You need to go to Social Security and sign up for Medicare. And so you need to start the process. You shouldn't wait till after you turn 65.
Yeah, and it's a big rush and you don't know what you're doing.
So this exchange, the health exchange that New York State has put out, is for people under 65 who don't have insurance through their employer. For children who have turned 26 and can no longer be on their parents' insurance, That's the health exchanges for them, and Chautauqua Opportunities has navigators that help them figure out what the plan is best for them, what the costs are going to be. That's what you've heard a lot of talk about, the bronze plans, the silver plans, the gold plans, the platinum plans.
And that's for people not on Medicare.
That's for people not on Medicare.
Okay.
Office for the Aging works closely with the navigators at Chautauqua Opportunities, because sometimes we have a person turning 65 and their spouse is not 65.
That's an interesting twist. Okay.
Right. So we also work with the veterans if we have a veteran who is on the veterans insurance and a spouse who's not. So now let's talk about Medicare.
Okay.
Okay? So there is traditional Medicare.
All right.
Okay, that you could go on when you turn 65. And automatically you get the Part A, which only covers hospitalization. Part B, you have to pay $104 a month for that. And that comes out of your Social Security check automatically.
All right, so they don't have to, but you have to apply for this.
You do have to apply for this.
All right.
But you know, you almost have to unsign yourself, and I really strongly advise people not to unsign themselves for Medicare without credible coverage. We've had people who said, "Oh, I think I can just wait. I'm not sick. I don't need it." There are significant penalties if you do not have insurance and you pay a penalty. So say you opt out of Medicare because you think you don't need it. And we've had people do this, erroneously thinking that they were going to save money, ended up with cancer. And not only were they penalized to join Medicare, but they couldn't join Medicare until a specific time.
Oh my gosh.
So
the bills could really rack up.
We had somebody who came to us like in July, was 70 years old, so had opted out of Medicare for 5 years. Yes. Said, "Oh, I'm only going to accept Part A because that has no cost to it. I'm going to opt out of Part B." Well, Part A only covers hospitalization.
Okay.
It doesn't cover the doctors while you're...
Diagnostics and
it doesn't,
all that,
right.
Oh boy.
So that was pretty scary, and I don't know what happened to this gentleman. I have a feeling he was...
Didn't end well.
He was stage 4 cancer. He probably passed away before.
Didn't have to be that way though.
No, and you know, he had to take all the costs on himself if he wanted to go through any treatment, and so it really fell to him and his family. There was nothing we could do. Hopefully...
Take a breath.
Okay.
The reason why I wanted you to come on today was so that this is just not a senior issue, this is a family issue. So if you are watching the show today and you are helping out your senior parents or whatever, this is for you to listen to, because you may very well be helping them make good decisions about insurance, right?
Exactly.
And then at the same time, you should be planning your future, because I work with my dad all the time, and we together make good decisions, I think. And so, but I'm not there yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. So I'm keenly interested in what you have to say, because I'm getting ready in a few years.
Right. And it's very complicated stuff.
Yeah.
So this was traditional Medicare. Now, the Part A covers your hospitalization.
$104 a month.
No, Part A is free.
Free.
Part B is $104 a month.
All right, so I'm confused already.
But that Part B only covers 80% of the cost.
Of?
Whatever it is. So the doctor's visit, the lab test.
Anything non-hospital.
Right.
Okay.
And so this is where the supplemental insurance comes in.
So you think, well, what's 20%? Well, 20% of $200,000, now you're $40,000 in the hole.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is where people sign up for AARP or United Healthcare.
Okay.
There's many different supplemental insurances. Of course, there's a premium that you need to pay for that supplemental.
Is there a ballpark figure?
I'm not skilled enough to, you know.
I mean,
I have 9 health insurance counselors. They go to a lot of schooling for this. And so,
people I talk to say it's like, I'm just making this up, don't hold me this, like a couple $100 a month per person, something like that?
It could be.
Could be up or down.
Right. And so sometimes what people decide instead of going to the traditional Medicare and the supplemental route is to sign up for Medicare Part C or the Medicare Advantage plans. Okay? So these
A, B, C, and this other.
I know. These are the all-encompassing plans. So that $104, instead of, you still have to pay that, but it goes to, say you signed up for Blue Cross or Independent Health
Okay, so this is
plan.
a supplemental plan.
No, these are not supplemental.
Oh, this is the Advantage plan.
This is an Advantage plan.
Okay.
In lieu of
The traditional.
the A and B. So
Okay.
they get that 104, and they may charge you a zero premium.
Okay.
Some of them are very low cost. And they may pick up a lot more than traditional Medicare, and they will sign you up for a Part D plan,
Part D?
which covers your
Prescription.
prescription.
That I do remember.
So
How much is that?
that can range depending on what prescriptions you're on.
Oh, so there's a certain percentage that they'll pay, and you say
Right,
like
right.
copay.
So
So this is really this is important stuff to be working on, right?
you can see why it's really complicated, and it really depends on you too. So John, if you're turning 65 and your wife is a few years behind you, do you stay on your employer cover insurance so that you can cover your wife? If you go to traditional Medicare, then they will not cover your wife
Right.
until she turns 65. So
Right.
you either have to go to the exchange, and that may be good if she's very well.
Right.
But if she has some illness that she's fighting, I talked to a gentleman the other day whose wife was battling cancer. He's getting close to turning 65, and he's still working at a local company. And we said, maybe it would be better until your wife turns 65 if you're going to continue to work, or even if you have a retiree's benefit, to stay on your company insurance.
So that gentleman would opt out of Medicare for a little while?
Yes, because he has credible coverage, there are no penalties.
Okay, I
he would
gotcha.
still get Medicare Part
Okay.
A, but he could opt out of the Part B because he's
understand.
already paying a premium.
Gotcha.
So there's no penalty if you stay on your employer's insurance, if you have credible coverage.
So your counselors understand this implicitly.
Oh my goodness, yes,
and
we do.
So we'll get back to this supplemental in a minute. So let's say someone's listening right now and they say, wow, this is really good stuff. I need to do something about this. What do they do, and what do they need to bring, and all that stuff?
Well, open enrollment will be starting in October.
So this was timely today.
This was very, very timely.
I'm like a genius.
We are going to be I can't tell you the exact date, but
Okay.
we are going to be having some forums for people to give them general information about all these different things that I've talked to
Will you let us know here?
Medicare,
We'll announce
oh,
this?
certainly,
Okay, great.
certainly.
Okay.
But they can also call our
there's your
office.
number right there. Good, magic.
They can call Office for the Aging or our New York Connects helpline and make an appointment with one of our counselors.
How much does that cost?
There is no cost to it, but we do ask for donations for
Okay.
all of our programs
All right.
because we are not fully funded.
You're at 80%.
Yeah. So for all of our programs, like the health insurance counseling, we do have, we ask for donations. Anything you give us in a donation goes right back into supporting the program and serving another senior. These programs can cost up to $60 an hour in the community for people who are not Office for the Aging.
Right.
But Office for the Aging, again, we have our counselors are certified. They are unbiased because we're not selling you insurance.
And what would they bring to this meeting? Do they
So
bring,
it's a good thing to bring, information about your current insurance, about your income, a list of all your medications.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Definitely a list of your medications.
yeah, because that would probably tell you which company would be better for you, or the level that you need to.
Right, and reason why we want something about your income is because for people who are lower income, there's a lot of programs you can sign up for that may pay your Part B premium, that $104.
Oh.
So if somebody is lower income, and I don't remember the exact
Right,
dollar
right.
amount, but if you're lower income, then Medicaid, even if you're not on Medicaid, will pay your Part B premium. And it's called Extra Help.
Okay, that's cool. All right. So they would bring all this information. They set up this appointment.
Right.
And your offices are in Mayville
and Dunkirk at the Dunkirk Senior Center,
Okay.
and on 3rd Street in Jamestown at the West Side Professional Building.
You're conveniently located throughout the county. Wonderful.
Exactly. But our counselors are getting very busy. We are already signing a lot of people up for appointments, so get your appointment as soon as possible because open enrollment ends the first week in December.
Okay. Folks, you are watching Chautauqua Sunrise with my guest, MaryAnn Spanos, the director, executive director or director? What do we
Director.
Have? Director, not executive director. To
I
us,
think
you're an
that's for a
executive.
not-for-profit.
I like that title. That's fine. the head honcho of the Office of the Aging, and we're talking about supplemental insurance, Medicare, and all the confusion that you may be experiencing. Don't be frustrated, because I helped a family member out on this a few years ago. We went to Dunkirk office, and they were super. He was paying way too much. He had double coverage that he didn't need, sorted it all out, saved him gobs of money, and I looked really good. Okay, so where were we? So supplemental insurance takes care of that 20% that Part B doesn't cover.
Exactly.
Now, does the supplemental insurance cover 100% of the 20%?
It should. It should. I can't tell you exactly, but again, then it doesn't cover your part. It doesn't cover your prescription. So when you get A and B, you also have to get a prescription drug.
Oh,
plan.
I didn't ask you about that. How much does D cost?
D can. It's a.
Oh, that's right.
Depends on
That's a
what
sliding scale. That's
medications
right.
you're on.
Oh, that's right.
Now,
I forgot that answer.
one more thing to complicate things, because people go through health insurance counseling and they think I'm set for life. Okay, I've gotten into this Medicare Advantage plan. It's not costing me anything or very little out-of-pocket expense, and so I'm set. I don't have to do anything else. What they don't know is all these Medicare Advantage plans, so Univera, Independent Health, Blue Cross, who offer these like Senior Choice, Senior Blue. These are the names of the Medicare Advantage plans. If you go into those, the insurance companies can change what they're going to cover every year.
Can you change supplemental insurance every year?
You can, but you need to, we're just finding out now, in the next few weeks, we will find out what the changes are to these Advantage plans. So
this is not just a one-time event. This is something you got to keep up on every year.
We try to tell people, with your birthday, you should think of, when your birthday comes about, you should think about having your health insurance checkup with the Office for the Aging if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan, because they do have the ability to change every year. And some people will say, oh, I'm set, I'm not having any problems. Maybe a medication changes for them, or the formulary of the insurance changes, and they're not going to cover a certain medication as well as they used to.
Yep.
So that's why you really need to continually to keep up on this.
Holy mackerel.
One thing that we are starting to offer for businesses, we have started going into businesses to talk about health insurance, because many people don't realize as they turn 65 and continue to work, they can sign up for Medicare. It may be to their advantage to do that. They may save a lot of money. It may not be to their advantage, but no one except our independent counselors are really equipped to guide them about that. The other thing is, you mentioned earlier, many people who are working are caregivers, and they're trying to help mom and dad through this.
Yeah.
So not only can we help you and help your mom and dad, but we can also tell you about other programs as your parents are dealing with health issues and you're working. We have a lot of programs and services to help older adults. And instead of spending a lot of your time at work, sometimes tracking down services or taking time off to help mom get to the doctor's appointment or this or that, Office for the Aging has a lot of services that can get mom and dad to the doctor, put an aide in the home if your mom or dad is living with you, or even if they're not.
Boy, that would take a lot of stress off a lot of families, I know.
Right. So we're here to help caregivers of any age.
I've got a question here.
Sure.
We've gone high-tech here.
You have.
You saw Chris earlier, high-tech. We got Twitter people.
Okay.
Here's a question. Are the changes that you were talking about that the insurance companies make each year, are they guaranteed for the year, or can they be changed during the year?
No, most of those changes are set for the year. So, but what we're finding happens more often is people think they were okay in the plan that they were in and don't change during open enrollment. So the changes go into effect January 1.
Oh, okay.
So open enrollment ends in December. January, these things take place, and they don't realize it till then.
Okay.
So you really have to do your homework and come and see us because, as I said, our people go to extensive training. We're almost having webinars weekly now until open enrollment happens.
You know, probably, I'm guessing this, but the baby boomer generation is the largest generation on the face of the earth in the history of the world, and we're all coming of age. Are you guys ready for us?
We're trying to get there.
I mean, since after World War II to ever, I think it's 1962 or something like that. It's like 15, 16 years of us. I mean, they're coming. There's millions.
They are coming, and I think the country was really gearing up, and then we had that economic crisis.
Right.
And unfortunately, Office for the Aging, when it was developed in 1965, along with Medicare and Medicaid, was put in a discretionary pot of funding. Maybe because they didn't think they were going to need us, I don't know. But every year when you're hearing about, you know, debates on Congress and the budget for the nationals, they talk about, oh, we're going to cut this discretionary pot of money. And that is what's happened to the Office for the Aging, is either we've been held stagnant or we've had cuts along with these other across-the-board cuts, and it's making it very difficult for us to serve all the people that are coming through their doors. Now, I have to say, my hat's off to our local legislature. I went to them last year and told them, look, you know, we did as much efficiency as we could. For 7 years, we've lowered or kept our local share steady, but all of a sudden we have 400 people on a wait list for services. And these people are at risk for going into nursing homes, getting on Medicaid, and then they're going to be your problem forever after. So they understood that and actually put more money into my home care program.
That makes sense.
And so we are taking people off fast and furiously. We're down to 200 people on the wait list. And the only reason why it's not off sooner is I've got 40 new people calling us every month.
I was going to say that list is probably being replaced by the people as you take out 10 come up or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. The baby boomers, every day someone's getting 65 years old, and it's going to get bigger and bigger.
So the state also, we did a lot of advocacy, and I appreciate again all our seniors who joined in calling and writing letters to our governor, to our elected officials, because we had extra money put in our budget for this past year for the state. Wasn't a lot, but it was something. And so we need to continue that because, of course, we're in discretionary money. And
okay.
It's a vicious
Folks,
cycle.
You've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise, and I want to thank MaryAnn for coming on as always, and we'll have you again and again and again and again. These are issues that we all need to be facing as a family unit, working with our elders and our own selves as we plan our retirements. Any last words of wisdom that you want to tell us? We've only got like 30 seconds here.
Well, just that Office for the Aging is here for you. We can counsel you one-on-one. We're also available to go into businesses and talk to their employees who are caregivers or who are turning 65 about their choices for health insurance and other programs that could help them.
Excellent. Okay, so there you have it. And if you have any questions, you can always call us and we can refer you to the phone numbers that you may need. I'm Doc Hamels. Thank you for joining us once again on this lovely Saturday morning. We'll see you next week right here at Chautauqua Sunrise. Thank you for Randy Burt, Jeff Zook, no, wrong Burt, too many Burts, and Chris Burt for helping out today. We'll see you next time. There you go. New music.